You take a guess at where and when Albert Pujols will hit his 600th home run, and I'll send you a copy of either the Angels paperback, second edition, or the first edition Cardinals. Here are 5 ways to localize the Pujols story and newsjack it. Take it as a story that is of interest to your local readers, assuming that they've got some interest in baseball. I suppose there's some places in America that maybe don't care about baseball, but if your readership follows Major League Baseball, even if they're not Cardinals fans or Los Angeles Angels fans, then here's 5 ways to localize the Pujols story. First of all, there's 30 Major League Baseball teams, and there's been, I don't know, half a dozen new stadiums built during Pujols' career. So you can ask the question, how many home runs has he hit at your local stadium? So if you're outside of Pittsburgh, you say, well, how many home runs has he hit in the ball fields here in Pittsburgh? I guess there's been 2 that he's played in there in Pittsburgh, if memory serves me correct. At any rate, no matter what stadium it is, and thanks to interleague play, he's hit a home run in every stadium. Localize the story by asking the questions, how many home runs has he hit at your stadium, at our stadium, and then write a story about that, and definitely do an infographic about those home runs. If there's like 20 home runs, pick the 3 most painful to your team. And here I'm thinking about like the Houston Astros in that game where they were going to go to the World Series if they could just get the outs in the 9th inning. And Pujols, well, I won't tell you. Let's just show you. You can go to YouTube and see it. But just pick the 3 that are the most painful. The second way is pitchers. Now, here's where if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you've got a local newspaper, but you've got that one guy who became a Major League Baseball pitcher. Maybe he went on to be a big name pitcher. Maybe he was just a one season, one and done kind of pitcher. It doesn't matter. If Albert Pujols struck him, for a home run, particularly just one epic home run, then go grab that guy's story. Maybe he'll give it to you, maybe he won't. Maybe he's like, I don't want to talk about baseball. That was so long ago, so painful. Maybe he only played one season and he doesn't want to talk about the baseball. But you can still tell a story. So local boy makes good, makes it to the majors, and back in 2003, he was up against Pujols, and Pujols smashed him for a home run. Tell that story. People would love to read that stuff. If you're a local newspaper editor, or you've got an online, Facebook stories, Facebook community group for your little town or mid-sized town, tell those stories. Number 3, the third way to newsjack it. This isn't so much a localized event, but it's a contest. And so you can localize it by basically taking the story and then saying, hey, let's run a contest here. So here's the story. You talk about the milestones, the 100, or maybe the first home run he hit, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. Okay, now we don't know where the 600 is going to come. So here's the pins of the story. Home run number 1, tell it real quick. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. That's 6 points real quick, 6 little paragraphs, about those milestone home runs. And then you ask the question, hey, we're doing a contest to see if you can guess correctly when and where Albert Pujols would hit his 600th home run. So if anybody can guess, we'll give away, a coupon good to your local Dairy Queen or something. Hey, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. Whoever can guess correctly the when and where Albert Pujols will hit his 600th home run, now you got to leave it in the comments section here, either at Facebook Live or when I post this at my blog, and you can just leave it in the comments. You got to make it a public declaration, but you take a guess at where and when Albert Pujols will hit his 600th home run, and I'll send you a copy of either the Angels paperback, second edition, or the first edition Cardinals. Number 4, do a poll. People love polls. Will Albert Pujols hit home run number 700? It's not, obviously he's going to hit number 600, but will he hit number 700? And then maybe a secondary question, will he break Barry Bonds' record? That'll drive some eyeballs, and people will be interested to see. 80% of our people think that he will hit number 600, but only 20% think that he's going to break their all-time record. Well, okay, that's interesting. And it's localized. And again, you don't have to be a Cardinals fan or Angels fan in order to pull this off. Last but not least, number 5, localize the story by asking your local readership, have you ever been to a Major League Baseball game where Albert Pujols hit a home run? If you got a Facebook group for your newspaper or your local television station, just ask them, hey, Albert Pujols of the Angels is about ready to hit number 600. That means there's a lot of people that have seen him hit a home run. 600 times, say average attendance of about 30,000 per game. That's a lot of people that have seen him hit a home run. So now, if you're in a big city like Boston or something like that, of course you're going to get 10,000 stories. But I'm thinking more of the small town, venue, midtown venue. You're going to get some people, especially if it's a city or town that isn't by a Major League Baseball team, so they're driving 4, 5, 6 hours to get to the game originally. And so, they made their once a year trip up to Minneapolis to see the Twins play. And Albert Pujols hit a home run, and it went right into the stands, 20 feet in front of you, and you almost caught the ball, something like that. Anyway, grab those stories. Grab your camera and put it on Facebook Live. Maybe you don't want to devote actual newspaper, copy to it. You don't want to devote some inches of column to it. That's fine. Just do some Facebook Live. The kids in the town that never pick up your paper will probably be looking at the Facebook Live or the recorded version of it, and they'll be interested to hear this story about something that happened when they were 2 years old, because that's about when Albert Pujols began. Current high school senior was 2 years old when Albert Pujols began to hit home runs. That's all for today. Don't forget to tell me when you think Albert Pujols is going to hit his 600th home run and win a copy of a well-written biography, I might say. So one of the things that we talk about is newsjacking. That is taking a story that is already out there that a lot of people are talking about and taking it and running with it with an angle, maybe a fresh angle that you've got, or a localized angle. So when you combine localization of a story with newsjacking of a story, that's where you can really add some viewership, some eyeballs. And I'm thinking about a lot of local newspapers where you could just pull the Associated Press story about Albert Pujols hitting his 600th home run, and you could run that story the day after he does it, and that's it. But like we said yesterday, there's only been a handful of people who have hit 600 home runs in the history of Major League Baseball out of 20,000 that have played. So I think it warrants giving it a little bit more attention. Now, of course, I'm a former, I used to live in St. Louis. I'm a St. Louis Cardinals fan. I have written a book that went through two editions for Pujols. So yes, I'm already invested in this story. I love the story. But the thing is, baseball transcends any one particular fan base. If you show me a player that played for another team, wasn't a Cardinals player, that was about ready to hit 600 home runs, I would be very interested in that story, especially if they had never been on the juice. And they had a chance perhaps of even going on to hit 700 home runs or even breaking Barry Bonds. So here's how to look